We are live now. Hey guys, how's it going, Julia? How's it going, Derek and Melissa? Wait,
Well,
I'm good.
yeah. So everyone who's piling in right now, we have an actual pretty exciting morning planned. What we have today is we have Derek on, and he has just received a brand new Trezor hardware wallet. And we are literally going to do a walkthrough of actually setting it up, sending some crypto and a bunch of stuff back and forth to it. I'll be, I don't know if I told you, Derek, but I'll be sending you a little bit of Ethereum just to be nice. So we can kind of play around with that too. I mean, it's not going to be a lot. I'll send you like, a tenth of an Ethereum or something on that front. But, just to kind of like play around with it so we can do transactions. So why don't I let you take it from here, and why don't you talk about why don't we start with, why don't you like show the screen of like what the Trezor is and to kind of talk about it first before we get into the nuts and bolts of actually setting it up.
okay, sure. So basically, this is the Trezor. So this is the actual box that it comes in here. I definitely recommend that when you receive it, it should be shrink wrapped, also with the protective seals on it as well. Just for security purposes, you don't want to get one that someone may have put some type of virus or something on it, so that kind of protects you. As far as what comes in your box, so you have a couple of what they call recovery seeds here. So if you're familiar with the ledger, most of these hard wallets actually have recovery seeds. That way, if it's lost or something happens, you can purchase another one and put in those 24 words to restore everything back. So they give you 2 of these as well. So you can put those in different places. You also get a couple of stickies, as far as from the Trezor company, black and white. Okay, so you get 4 of those. You get a lanyard for a keychain. Also a set of instructions, and you also get the Trezor as well. And so of course you take off the little pill and stick there, and the USB connection. All right, so that's everything that should come in your box. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take this off here. All right. And so, so basically, far as hard wallet, of course, you got different types of wallets. So the hard wallet is probably one of the safest routes you can go, where you actually have control of your own keys, so to speak. So, so definitely recommend to use one of these, whether it's the Ledger or the Trezor. I typically use I have the Ledger, so you get to see me kind of walk through this and work through this myself as I try to set this up. All right. All right, so first thing you're gonna do is take a USB connection. So we're gonna set that up there, and I'll let my wife kind of set that up with the USB, and you just plug it up basically to your laptop or PC there. Yep, and just stick it. All right, and then once that's set up, basically it just says welcome, and just gives you the address, the web address that you have to go to, which we're going to go to now, which is trezor.io /start. All right, so I can go ahead and share the screen there. All right. Now I'll start from scratch since I already kind of got the shortcut in there, but since we're doing this at 101, so we look at Trezor.io /start. Okay, let's just let me know device is ready and set up to go. Okay. And it says, thank you, finally, so you're ready to go. So basically, it looks like it has 3 steps here that you have to go through for setting the pin up. so let's see. Let me see if I can move this over out the way. All right. All right, give me 1 second. All right, so now it's typically supposed to automatically initialize for the pin, so I may have to unplug it and plug it back in again. Let's see. All right, we'll see if it'll come back up. And actually, to the right, there's a little video if you want to, as far as learn about the pin and what's that all about. Let me see if I can. All right, so let me refresh and see if it'll communicate. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna stop sharing just for a second so I can make sure it's connected. All right, let me check the USB ports. Yeah, sorry about that for the delay, but this is what happened. So this is the real, the real things you go through.
Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, just so everyone knows, we're doing this live for the first
Yeah,
time, and
no
you know,
prep
Derek,
or anything.
you literally just cracked the seal on this thing.
Yeah.
So you know,
it's
we're seeing it all: the good, the bad, right? The ugly.
All right.
And if anybody have any questions, they can post in the Q&A, and we can try to get to it.
While he's working on that, how long did it take for the device to come in, Derek?
You asking Derek a question?
I was asking how long did it take for it to come in from when you ordered the device?
I think he dropped off. I ordered it for him. I mean, he just got me a link on Amazon. So I ordered it for him. When did we start talking about this? Was it Saturday or Sunday?
Okay.
I think it was last Saturday or Sunday. Now, Curtis's thing, I need to order your thing too, Curtis. I forgot about that. Yeah, he just got me the info. We ordered it, and I think he got it on like Wednesday or something on that front. So.
Okay.
So yeah.
I think if you order from the manufacturer with the Trezor, I think it's with DHL it's 4 days, but with nano ledger, I think this back order you got till the March 20 something, I think. So.
Yeah, we got a few questions about what we're actually doing. So let me pull up the website, Trezor Wallet. So we're basically,
there definitely is a little bit of a learning curve with them for sure.
Yeah, let me share my screen so everyone can see it while we're just sitting tight here. No, screen 2, sorry. Basically, we're playing around with this guy here. The Trezor wallet, and we're working on getting it set up and everything on that front.
So while we're waiting, someone asked, is it only advisable to purchase the Trezor from the company itself, or any advice of where to purchase it? So, and I know we've been talking about it's best to go to the manufacturer to avoid tampering, if possible. The third party could be tampered with.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't, yeah. Where did you get, wait, you have a ledger though. Did you buy yours from the manufacturer or did you get yours off Amazon or?
I did both. So I bought mine off of Amazon and I listened to a few of the broadcasts where everyone was saying go straight to the manufacturer because they have been tampered with. And I went and bought another one from the manufacturer. So the ledger came out of France. So it took a few weeks to get here, but I got my ledger in a couple days, obviously, because I got it from Amazon. But even though it came shrink wrapped and all of that, I was still a little nervous. So I bought an additional one.
Oh, so did you return your first one then, or?
I didn't even think you could, I was like, I just said, this be good to ask. I just kept it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know with Amazon, you should be able to return it, I would imagine.
Actually, it's true.
Yeah.
And I also was thinking too, because initially when I got the ledger, I didn't know that you could store more than 5 types of crypto on them, because at first it only allows you to put 5 wallets on there, not understanding that the Ether was where you got connected to all the other.
Let's just talk about Myetherwallet, right? So even with the ledger, the ledger, and I believe the Trezor supports it too. Let's see, Trezor. Myetherwallet, right? So a lot of people look at these wallets and say, oh, if I look at the coins and I don't know what the current list is, I only see like 5 coins or 10 coins, what's going on? But most of these wallets integrate with a tool called Myetherwallet. And we can look at this while Derek's working on his end. Oh, are you back, Derek? Oh, you're muted.
Yes. Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries.
The internet went down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. I'll finish my thought, then hand it over. So yeah, most of these things integrate with Myetherwallet, which is a online wallet. And having it tied into a hardware wallet is an even better level of integration than just using Myetherwallet. But Myetherwallet supports basically any token that's ERC20 compliant. So if we go to list of ERC20 tokens, and you can just Google it or whatever, all these tokens are ERC20 compliant. It's a big list. So like if you're looking and saying, geez, this thing only supports 5, do I need more of these? Well, because they're integrated with Myetherwallet and Myetherwallet gives you access to all of these, you know, all these tokens that are ERC20 compliant are going to work on the Trezor or the Ledger on that front. Did you get the Myetherwallet thing working on your end, Julia?
Yeah, so that's how I connect that's how I connect actually to my ledger through the Myetherwallet. I plug it in, go to Myetherwallet when I'm dealing with the EC20 token.
Yeah. So here's a question, Derek, since you're back. People ask, because I think I ordered it off of Amazon for the Trezor for you. So yes. How come you didn't, you know, how come you were fine with Amazon versus getting it direct from Trezor or anything on that side? Like, did that occur to you or?
No, I typically don't have a problem. I mean, I bought my ledger on Amazon. Typically, if you feel like you may have gotten a defective product, you can always perform a factory reset. So whatever they put on there, you could just wipe it clean and just start from scratch anyway. So it's normally not really a big problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works too. So someone asked in terms of a link of where to purchase it. I mean, Derek just went to Amazon.
Pretty much.
You can also Google Trezor. You know, we're not affiliated with them, so, you know, I don't have like a link that I'm trying to, you know, point you towards or anything on that end. So I'd say Amazon's probably either Amazon, or if you want to go direct to the manufacturer, you know, those two are probably your best bet. Yeah, so Stephanie, who joined late, just asked the question, is this an example of a hard wallet? Yeah, we're taking a look at the Trezor wallet. And yeah, so it's the Trezor wallet. I just showed the information. Let me just post the link into the form in terms of the manufacturer. Okay, so Derek, just so people can follow along, are you setting things up right now, or you want to just kind of give us an update on where you're at?
Sure. So we can try this again and see how this works. All right, so let me see if I can share screen again. All right. Okay. And so basically this is after you've plugged everything up. You go to the website here, trezor.io /start. And let me pull this down. All right. Now, to be honest, they really don't give you as far as the instructions. Kind of not as detailed as it probably should be. So, so basically you end up getting here at the Trezor screen. Of course, it says thank you. But then you have to move over to wallet. But it actually doesn't tell you that in the instructions, by the way, so. Then it asks you to install the firmware to make sure that's updated. So we'll just go ahead and say yes. Okay, and now my Trezor on the screen just says installing, and I can see the bar kind of loading up. And it says please wait. So it's about 100% now. Now it says new firmware successfully installed. You may now unplug your Trezor. Now, let's see how do we get from here, because at some point you should be installing your pin. All right, so let's see here. Like I said, the instructions are not as detailed probably as they should be for a newbie. Let's see here. All right, let me see. So I'm just gonna unplug it and see what it does. Trezor to continue. All right, so let's try the connect Trezor to continue on the left side. Okay, so it says welcome to Trezor setup. All right, and here you can just kind of give it a, I guess you want to give it a name. I'll just say Trezor. All right, continue. Okay, so this is the part that you can't really see as far as the pin. So basically on the screen, it just shows up as dots. But when you look at your Trezor, I can actually see what the dots represent. And they're basically a bunch of numbers. So I can just choose my pin here. So let's see. Let's go with careful is too easy to guess. So let's see. So you should have, I believe it's 4 digits. So
Might want to change your pin after this session here.
Yeah. I don't think, can you all see it? I don't think you should be able to see it, the numbers.
No, we can't see the numbers.
You can't see them?
See your mouse moving over dots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's a little security deal. All right, let me see. Now, when you put it, you do it, now the second time when the numbers come up, it just randomly spreads them out. I think that's like in a security thing as well. So the numbers are not going to be, when you confirm, they're not going to be in the same position again. Okay, and then at the bottom it says it's fine. Now enter. So this is where you get to the recovery seed, which I mentioned before, that comes in your package. So they give you 2 of these, and you just have to write those down. So please write them down carefully, because like you said, it's highly important if you lose your hard wallet that you need these in order to restore your wallet. All right, so let's all right, so now on my screen, I can see the first word. So this will just take a second to write down each one. All right, so we'll write down the first word. All right, then they have a next button. So we just hit next, second word. Yeah. And then next for the third. All right. 24.
We're getting some feedback, and some of the people listening can't hear. They think that they hear someone typing.
Oh, okay. Is that you, Charles?
Yeah, sorry. Let me mute. I'm sorry.
No problem. All right. Okay. And, all right. So, like I said, just writing all the words down that they give you.
It's like 24 words.
Okay. So I'm at 13 right now. Okay. Yeah, 16. All right, and last but not least, 24. All right, so I got all 24 of my words now, which I'm not going to show those to you all, but they're in there, trust me. And if you miss anything, they do have a little thing on here. You can click again, and it'll kind of take you back through there. All right, let's see. So we don't want to go through this, so let's see. All right. So we got the pen, we got the recovery. All right. I'm just going to scroll through here, make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. And then I can say finish. All right. And let me make sure I have my pen there. Just so. All right. Okay. Oops. So again, like I said, all the numbers are spread out, so you got to really make sure you're hitting the right dots. This is opening. All right, so now it looks like it's a loading counts. Congratulations, your device is now ready to use. All right, so that's pretty much the basics there. And of course, it looks like over here to the left is account number 1. So I'm assuming you can add different accounts. Okay. And I believe this has like a 2-factor deal. App settings. Let me see. Be careful not to click on it too much here. All right, so I see up here at the top, so you have the transactions. So it looks like this is the Bitcoin BTC. Let me see if it can, oh, okay, here we go. So let's look and see what we have. So we have Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Dash, Litecoin, Zcash, Ethereum, and Ethereum Classic wallets that are automatically in there. I heard that any ERC20 ones as well can work with this, but don't quote me on that. I kind of just heard that.
Yeah, it will. Once you get this set up, we'll work with you on the Myetherwallet plugin.
Okay.
And that gets you all the ERC20.
Okay. Now is that going through the Google extension?
Yeah. Yeah. We can jump. Are you ready to jump to that yet, or do you want to play around with this first?
Well, we can see just on here, and then we'll jump right into the Google extension. I might have already kind of pre-downloaded it, but for tutorial purpose, I'll go back through it.
Yeah. Basically, just open Google and type in Trezor Myetherwallet. And it'll first probably force you to create a Myetherwallet account also, and then like the two will link together.
Okay.
Maybe before you continue, there's some questions about this page. So Daniel was asking, how does he get to the Trezor wallet? So showing him maybe that, because I think you were saying it wasn't self-explanatory on Trezor wallet page, that you had to click wallet at the top.
Yeah, so basically, and I can, let me skip back here. So when you first go to the site, they're going to ask you to type in trezor.io /start. It'll kind of bring you here. It really, let me type it in because it actually doesn't look like that. It should look like this. Okay. And this just kind of gives you an overview. It's not really going to help you much. I mean, you can click on and look at some things just to get understanding about the pen. But ultimately, you're going to have to work your way over to here, to the wallet. All right. And this is where it'll start to prompt you for us to update your firmware, your PIN, and also your 24-word seed as well. All right, so now it just opens your wallet. Once you're all set up, your wallet is ready to go. Of course, you have transactions, receive, send, sign, and verify. And as Charles was saying about the Chrome extension, so let's see. If you go to the Chrome web store, you can probably type in Trezor Chrome extension. And this here says launch app. So I'll see if, all right, and it says go to Trezor Wallet. So hopefully this is it. Okay. And I see you're over to the left. Now, Charles, is this what you were referring to? To install the Trezor bridge to allow Trezor Wallet to talk with your device?
Yeah, actually, your screen is locked up. I don't see, I'm still seeing the old, I think you might have paused your screen share.
Okay.
Why don't you like unshare it and reshare it again or something?
Okay. How's that?
Okay, now I see though, I just see the Trezor Wallet browser.
Okay. Okay. You see the Trezor Chrome extension?
Yeah, so which one are you looking at?
All right, so we have the Trezor Chrome extension, so we launched that, and it, let's see, it's trying to skip over. Let me just relaunch it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now it opens up here, and then at the top it says go to Trezor Wallet.
I'm not seeing that. Hold on, Curtis, are you seeing, I just see Trezor Chrome extension. Do you see what?
That's what I see.
That's what I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me try something. Let's see. S2.
Sometimes it's easier instead of just selecting a window if you select your entire desktop, because if it's popping up a new window, it might not show up on the screen share for us.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. All right, how's that?
Same thing.
All right, so now click
now
on.
we saw something.
Okay.
Yeah, Trezor management. Okay.
All right, then go to Trezor Wallet from here.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right. Okay. All right. Now this was in reference to the install. So on the left it says please install Trezor Bridge to allow Trezor wallets to talk with your device. I'm gonna close one of these windows. Okay, so I have Windows, but it looks like it has multiple options for Macs, Linux, 64-bit, 32-bit.
I hear background noise. I don't know who that's coming from. Oh, it's gone now.
Okay.
Hey, I got to step away for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
So just a heads up, I'm going to walk back, but I'll be around.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. So it looks like it's doing something. All right, let me minimize this to see did it appear somewhere else. All right. Let me click. I'm gonna click back on the wallet and see what I download if it actually did anything. Okay. Looks pretty much the same to me, so I don't know if that was even necessary to download that, but all right. Okay. All right, so pretty much it looks like everything is set up. Like I say, you can always go through some other docs and the blog or support if you got any additional questions on there.
Yeah, so Derek, why don't you go to Myetherwallet and open an account on Myetherwallet also?
Okay.
And then let's try to link Myetherwallet into your Trezor. And then we'll work on generating an Ethereum address.
Okay.
While he's doing that, you always want to make sure you got the right address because one letter or something like that could be a totally different site.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody's creating variations.
I think, matter of fact, I don't know if somebody posted or not, but somebody had typed in KuCoin, but they spelled the C with a K and it took them to Binance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like Binance. I guess Binance had bought the name, so I guess they, that's a competition. So it was whatever.
All right, so said they're done lecturing us. So let's see how to send via Trezor hard wallet. Yes, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so it says go to Myetherwallet, send transaction. Okay, let's see. Check to make sure you're using ETH. Okay. Send wallets, then select Trezor. Select connect Trezor. Unlock it. Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. And let's see. So this is where you generate a seed, I guess, or address here. So this is online or offline options. So we're online. Okay. Trezor. Okay. Let's see if that'll.
Interesting.
Let me see. Would you like to access Trezor? Okay. So you want to go down, select Trezor or whatever wallet you have. Then we need to connect it. All right. Okay. And exporting public key. Okay. And okay, let's see here. See a set here. Trezor, digital box, Trezor here. All right, so we'll leave it there. Select the address you'd like to interact with. Let's use this one. Okay, unlock your wallet. Okay. That's a generated transaction. Okay, that's failed. So let's go back up here. All right, so we got, okay. All right, so we need two addresses, so we're sending it. Let's see if I can pull this up. Okay, that's the offline wallet. This is the online wallet. Let me see if it'll. All right. All right. So let's see. Let me see if I can get back. This little thing is always popping up. Let me push this thing. All right, so Charles, you might have to pick up from here. I saw a 2 section. Let me see if okay, I see something disappeared. All right. Can you still hear us? Looks like.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can still, okay. All right. I was trying to see if Charles, where he wants to, I'm gonna see if I can get back. Let me move this thing, because this thing loves dropping down.
He's gonna send, if you go back to the myetherwallet.com, where you were. Okay, so you're gonna be is he sending you tokens, or are you sending?
He's gonna send me Ether.
He's gonna send you Ether. So if you click on send Ether and token, so then you're gonna click Trezor. Connect. Yep, export. The first one. It's hard in the beginning. Like, a little trick here that I found is once you initially put money in one of these addresses, then it'll be easy to know you're in the right place, right? But because you're starting from scratch, it's like, which one do I choose? So I just started with the first one. So just click your address.
Okay.
Yep, and then unlock your wallet.
And move this thing.
Cool. Hey, I'm back. Sorry if I missed anything.
And then now it will be this is like where, so you're going to put what you're going to be sending to, the amount you can select, and then generate the transaction. So this is if you're going to be sending from your Ether wallet here. If he's going to send you tokens, then you'll have to give him the address to the right where it says account address. And then he'll send them to you at this address. So if you're going to be sending anything out, you put the address of where it's going, the amount, and then which, whether it's Ether.
Well, I guess Charles, I guess you can see the address up there.
Can you message it to me? Do it through Facebook, and then I'll just send you some Ether, and we'll play around with this.
All right.
Let me open my GDAX, and I'll take over screen share then.
Okay.
Give me one sec. Share screen on my end. Okay, so let me run over to GDAX.
Let me see.
Did you get me the address, or you're working on it still, Derek?
Still, I'm logging in now.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, so there's been some comments, this is not going as smoothly as it could. One of the reasons why we did it this way is we want to kind of simulate real life, right? Real life, it's not like everything works slowly. Sometimes you got to reboot the computer and everything, and we wanted to try to be a little more relatable. Now, ultimately, over time, we'll edit these videos and things like that, but we just thought, let's all put our heads together. Let's just let different people do it, see what problems people run into, and we want to try to capture those, because those don't always get seen.
All right. All right, just waiting for it to pop up here. All right, here we go.
I'm glad we got these roadblocks and stuff like that, simulate real life, because like on a YouTube video, sometimes they show it perfect, and then you try to do it, and then it's like a roadblock, and you're like, okay, what I'm supposed to do? So it's pretty good.
That's basically why we tried it this way, because when everything's edited, it's always the little things that catch people, right? Like, oh, my browser extension thing plugin checkbox here wasn't checked. You know what I mean? And when you're watching the YouTube videos, it all just works perfectly.
Exactly.
You don't have to spend 4 hours figuring out the exact checkbox to check on the right browser plugin on that side.
All right, there we go, Charles.
Okay, so what we're showing here now is Derek has set up his wallet, and the concept now is how do we actually send stuff back and forth, and actually use this. So if you saw earlier, he'd actually used shown the wallet. You could see a bunch of Ethereum addresses, and the way to send and receive, tokens, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever on there, is to use the various addresses, that are available. So, what I'm going to do actually, Derek, let's do that. I'll also send you some Litecoin so that people can see the difference. But first we'll do Ethereum.
Okay.
So if you see my screen, this is just my GDAX. I've got some, obviously some Ethereum sitting around, not very much. And I'm going to send him this comes out to like $50 worth of Ethereum. So, you owe me lunch. I guess I'll have to eat a lot too on that. But all literally I do, so like if you guys can think, the way to abstract it is your wallet, and your wallet is a general term. There's hard wallets, there's soft wallets. If you're on any exchange, that's a wallet too. It's kind of just like a mailbox. So this is the mailbox address of Derek's wallet here. Now Derek might also have a different wallet address for his Binance account, where he can receive his Ethereum there. Or he might have a different address for his Bittrex account, or if he's got a KuCoin account. I don't know what accounts you have, but each of these accounts will have different addresses. And that's kind of where you know where all your money is at. It's just, they're like, think of it like mailboxes, I guess. So if I wanted to send Derek some Ethereum, or whether it's some Litecoin or whatever, maybe I need to pay him for something, maybe I want to give him a gift, maybe I, for whatever reason we're doing, I literally just put the amount in here. I put the destination, and then in my case, I've got two-factor set up, so I gotta wait for my code thing to pop up.
Quick question, Joe. I noticed on here, because I know a lot of times, the wallets, whether it's on the exchange or hard wallets, got different names, whether it's deposit, send, receive. Now, the address I gave you is send Ether and tokens. So is there a is there a receive? Is that the correct one? Like the sending on Myether wallet?
Well, if you send it, so let's stop this for a second, right? And you got to this is deposit, withdraw, send, or receive, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm depositing, this is my receive and my Ethereum address. This is my Ethereum address. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
So I can't really send to my deposit. I mean, that's like sending money to myself.
Yeah.
Right. So now with how GDAX works, I can also, they just have multiple features, multiple methods of depositing. Right. I can move it over from the Coinbase or whatever, or I could, put my bank account in or wire it in on that front. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
So then when I send it or withdraw, I click ETH address, and now I have the ability to enter in a wallet that I'm sending to. So let's just do this. I'll send you some Ethereum, and I probably have to get a new code. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So 388378.
And I always say, double check your address or whatever, because I had somebody send me some coins, and I gave them the address, but I didn't realize on my end the address had changed, and so it went to oblivion. So I always want to make sure that you got the right numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the beauty of the decentralized stuff is we're decentralized. But with responsibility or with control and power comes responsibility. So you can send your stuff to the netherworld. And that's actually, going back, someone asked about the love token. That's one of the main reasons why we're issuing the love token, because sending this stuff back and forth, especially if it's your first time or even your first 5 times, it can get very stressful. Curtis is one of those guys that I respect you. I love you, but you're kind of crazy. Like, you check everything, you check it twice, you check it 3 times. I honestly, I don't check things that closely. So, I can kind of fumble around a little bit, and sometimes I sent money to, no man's land, and that's not good on that front. So with that, let's do this. I sent you some Ethereum. While we're waiting for the Ethereum to come over, I think there's 2 things to be mindful of. One is the concept, there's like with Ethereum or transaction fees, if you look at it, I sent Derek 0.05 Ethereum. However, Derek is not going to receive or you shouldn't be receiving 0.05 Ethereum, because there is some sort of, call it gas cost, or a transaction that goes through, kind of like if you were to send money through Western Union or send money through Visa, MasterCard, or PayPal, when you send across networks, you got to pay someone to transact through. So that's going to be interesting to look at on that side. While we're waiting also, Derek, you want to pull up your ledger again and now pull up your Litecoin address, and I'll send you some Litecoin?
Sure.
so people can see. So this is now, you've just seen the Ethereum. People, I think in the past we've shown how to send Bitcoin back and forth. And now we're going to show you how to send Litecoin back and forth. And what you'll find is there's general, it can definitely seem overwhelming at first. It's like, oh my gosh, we got these weird hexadecimal things, you got all this sort of stuff. But as we do this more and more and you see it more and more, you'll see these trends that just make sense. It's like, conceptually speaking, you've either got a place to put in an address of where you're going to send this stuff to, or you've got a place where you're going to have an address where you're going to receive, incoming on that front.
Okay. So I'll see here what it has Ether listed. So do you go back to new wallet, or you can just click here and it should give you a drop down of
Well, you're in send right now, so you have to go to the Litecoin side of the equation.
All right. So, and that would be in the new wallet?
Well, this is also Litecoin's not ERC20.
Okay.
Litecoin is Litecoin, so you'll probably do it in your Trezor side.
On the Trezor side. Okay. Let's see. So receive.
So now you're in the you might want to move up a level because you're in Bitcoin. You see what I mean?
Okay, there we go. All right. So
and this is the other thing, and I'm going to again step back. All coins are not equal, but it's good to actually start using this. And this goes back, I'm not trying to carp on love, but it's good to start using this because this will help you understand what the heck is actually going on. Because what you have is you've got some coins that have miners, and they have, their own transaction networks because they're their own autonomous systems. So like Bitcoin is one example, Litecoin is one example, Dash is one example. And then what you have is, and Ethereum and Neo are examples of, networks with actual transaction nodes. Then what you have is you've got these protocols that have now become platforms, and you have coins on top of platforms. So an example of that is, anything ERC20 compliant. And that's actually like how the platform works, because if I'm going to issue my own coin, if I wanted to start everything from scratch, I'd have to go deploy, 1,000 mining nodes all around the world before I could actually even, use the coin. Now, what a platform like Ethereum does is I build my coin on the platform. I have to pay Ethereum the fee in terms of gas or Ether tokens to send stuff back and forth. But now as the platform, I don't have to focus my efforts on building the mining infrastructure, meaning getting people to set up servers and stuff like that and, put it into the decentralized cloud. I can focus on developing the application and then actually add value to the consumer. So as you start thinking about all this stuff, this probably will also help you with your investment decisions, right? So it's like, wow, why are we so excited about Ethereum, or why are we so excited about platforms? Well, we know that certain platforms make sense because other people are building on them, so that as the other people expand, the platform will expand too, and that's how the platform will drive growth, so forth and so forth.
All right.
Okay, so you got me a Litecoin. So now I'm going to go back and share, and I'm going to send you some Litecoin. Wow, it is your lucky day, man. You're getting it all. So I go to my Coinbase. Let me just transfer some Litecoin over. Where are we at? I'll make a deposit. I'm going to move some Litecoin into my GDAX. And now I've got Litecoin sitting here, so that's kind of exciting. And I am going to send over some Litecoin. So it'll send you 1/10 of a Litecoin. That's $20. And now if you look at this, conceptually it's the same, but there's a different, the address, the way a Litecoin address looks, views, it's a little different. So I do this, I get my code. And let me enter the 0303124. 0303124. Withdraw funds. Oh wait, I'm getting not a valid address. So good thing, otherwise my 20 bucks would have gone to the net. Why don't you share your screen again so people can see where you get your Litecoin address?
All right, so let's go here. All right, so let me I'm gonna close this out. All right, so went to Litecoin.
Yeah.
On a side note, anybody in the real estate, it might be good time to invest in the Netherlands market because a lot of money going to be going there.
Oh, really? What's going on in the Netherlands?
Everybody losing their coins is going to the Netherlands market, so you might want to invest in that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right, let's see. Let me go
Yeah,
back.
conceptually speaking, so this is my Litecoin address.
Okay. So you have the receive and send. So I'm receiving correct.
Yep.
Let's share here.
Let's show the address. Oh, wait, it says, look at the top. Litecoin changed the format. There's instructions. Did you see that?
Okay, sending a transaction address starting with 3.
And then sending Litecoins to a Trezor M address refused. So it says convert it. Please convert it to this.
3. Okay. So it may have to add more addresses or one that ends with 3.
Yeah, why don't we pop up? Well, you might want to read those.
Yeah.
Just pop up.
All right, let me see. See if it lets you back out of here. See if it lets you. Trying to refresh without going back out again, but let's see if it'll. Okay. All right. So Litecoin changed the format. Let's see more info. Okay, I guess it's in relation to the new SegWit. Said all addresses starting with number 3 will now begin with M. Address change. All right, let's see.
So you have an M address, and I guess GDAX doesn't accept the M address, so you've got to convert it.
Right. All right, so let's click here and see what the convert instructions are. So I'm assuming you paste it in there. Okay, I think I'm seeing. Okay. All right. So, since I already opened this one, to prevent phishing, your Trezor is not connected. Okay. It actually is connected. Let me see.
Oh, they wanted you to reconnect her. Yeah.
All right, let's see.
It gets easier for anyone who's listening. As you do this more and more, it starts to make sense. It's always, this is honestly, Derek just cracked the seal on this thing for the first time. So, he's literally, feet in the fire.
Yeah, I had a friend that I showed him how to buy his first coin, and I walked him through the step and took like about an hour. of him asking questions and whatnot. But you know, it just take a couple minutes, so you just a learning curve to really get to understand things.
Yeah. And really, like I said, this is one of another reasons why we did this love coin is the reality is for most people today, you're not going to be spending, sending $50 to people just to practice. It's a lot of money to do that. So if you have, 1,000 free ERC20 tokens, you can send them back and forth, till the cows come home, and just get better at this, and then you can even do things like, let me send it to a different address and learn how to recover my password. Like for example, if we send it to, and I don't have don't have the love tokens generated, but like, for example, with certain wallets, like they take ERC20 tokens, but they might not be quote unquote officially supported. So if you send it to that ERC20 address, the tokens are there, but you can't find them. And there's a process that you have to go through to actually go find them. Okay, did you just send me a new one? Is that the new address I should use there?
Yes.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so let me find this is the address. Let's withdraw. See where the money goes. Maybe the Litecoin address. Let me get my code. And just to add on to what Curtis was saying, it might come easy to me because I've been doing this for a while. But when I first started too, it took me like an hour to figure out how to trade and how to send this stuff, and you're double checking this and everything. And it's literally just practice is what makes it, easier to do. So now Litecoin has been sent and Ethereum has been sent. Why don't we take a quick look? Derek, do you want to check your wallet to see if you've gotten your Ethereum yet?
Sure. All right. Alrighty. Okay, I'm looking at it. I'm going to refresh and see.
Yeah, that's a great statement, Tracy. Yeah, I mean, it's saying it's easy, I guess. Yeah, it's a bit of an understatement. But it's just practice. It's like, first time swimming, first time riding a bike, first time doing anything. It's always a challenge.
Definitely.
I guess the thing is, though, like, think about it, right? Back in 1995, I don't know if, well, Curtis, you're did you ever, when did you start using the internet? Like, did you ever use, like, chat rooms or anything like that back in the day when you were a kid?
All I remember is eBay, looking at stuff, and Ask Jeeves. So,
Oh, Ask Jeeves, yeah, I forgot all about them, yeah. But, like, remember when we first started, like, I remember, like, first getting on the internet, like, I got on in like 94 and like web browsers weren't even out. So all you had were this thing called IRC, which was like Internet Relay Chat. And you had a bunch of, okay, so you got some Ethereum. Cool.
Yep.
Not a problem, Julia. Thanks for being on. Yeah, I mean, but back then, like, there weren't web browsers, and it was hard. You'd, like, log into these clients, and there was this thing called, like, Telnet, where you'd, like, text back and forth, and you had to wait for your modem to dial in, and half the time it'd knock off and everything on that front and go from there.
All right, so it looked like the Litecoin came over as well.
Okay, so you got your Litecoin, you got your Ethereum. Cool. And the costs were, that's interesting. There should be some sort of transaction cost to send it. Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's just too minuscule for sending and receiving that it's not like you don't pay for it. Because you got 0.05 Ethereum, right? Because I sent you 0.05 Ethereum. You received that, you got 0.1 Litecoin.
Correct.
Let me Google this. Myetherwallet gas cost. We should probably do a separate thing on this rather than just kind of winging it. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
But let's just talk conceptually because we've also been on for an hour. There is this concept in every network of some sort of a transaction fee. So if you want to learn about this, and we'll dive more into this, for people who are maybe more advanced and comfortable and just kind of curious, if you just Google Myetherwallet gas costs, there's all sorts of stuff in terms of, what is gas, blah, 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 and how that works and everything on that front. And ultimately, there is a computation that goes in to gas and Ethereum and everything like that to actually transact anything on the Ethereum network. That's kind of like the Bitcoin miner fee. That's kind of all these sorts of stuff. And one of the fun things about, fun depending on how you look at it, but look at it like as if, if I'm sending mail, I got to pay a stamp, right? Because the mailman's got to deliver it. You're going to have to pay some gas here and there. And learning and understanding, how gas works. And it's not just gas for the Ethereum network, but there's the concept that there will be some sort of transaction fee to send something is actually pretty useful. Now, the thing is, with other coins, like Litecoin, for example, the Litecoin network is much more efficient. And the thing is, once you realize these sorts of things, like for anyone who was on yesterday, we were talking about, okay, well, why do we think Litecoin is going to be so exciting? Because we know Coinbase now has, Coinbase is, has a new plugin. Hey, actually, Derek, do you have a Shopify store at all? Do you guys do
no, not for me personally, but
okay.
I think some stuff to my wife's website.
Okay, yeah. So you saw like Coinbase now has a Shopify plugin where you can did you hear about that?
I did. I had set hers up with, I think it's BitPay.
Oh, okay.
We were using that initially, but yeah, I heard when you mentioned it that the Coinbase had started something as well.
Exactly. So
check that out.
So that's cool because I think BitPay only, do you accept Bitcoin or do you accept other things outside of Bitcoin?
I think it's just Bitcoin only. Yeah.
So the problem with Bitcoin though is you don't really want to accept it because your transaction fee is going to be like $15, right, to take a Bitcoin. So it's like if I'm selling something for $20 and I have to pay $15 for that $20 thing, ain't going to happen.
Pretty much lost, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. But with Coinbase, you now have they have Litecoin. And this is where understanding how gas and all this stuff works is actually pretty useful because the transaction fees of how Litecoin is set up is really low. It's minuscule. So compared to a credit card where you pay 2%, Litecoin you'll pay I don't know the exact number because it varies based on the calculation, but Litecoin is significantly less. Yeah. You see what I mean? Yeah. So at that point, it's actually kind of cool because, as a business, paying that 2 to 3% to Visa or MasterCard or Amex kind of sucks, right? That adds up. And if you look at it, if you understand how gas works and this Ethereum works, it's okay, well, knowing what's going on, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, which one will actually make more sense for different types of transactions, that helps also on the investment decisions, right? Because if you understand this, you can see that, oh, wow, Litecoin is going to be great. It'll be a good thing. Yeah. So kind of a fun thing on that front.
Yeah, definitely go check it out.
Yeah. We're probably going to do something. I got to check in with Lawrence because they're out in San Diego right now. But I was going to do a demo where we're going to, integrate the Coinbase thing into one of the Shopify stores and show people. And then we'll try to buy something and show both sides of, okay, I buy something with Litecoin, see what happens. And then on the merchant side, hey, I take it. What are my fees that I'm going to come out of that? I think that'll be kind of fun.
Yeah.
To look at. So cool. Let's just kind of run through some Q&A and then we can get wrapped up. Thanks everyone for sticking around. So first question is from Daniel, is Coinbase the best platform? I don't know. I mean, I'll give my opinion, and Curtis, I'll let you give your opinion, and Derek, you give your opinion. I personally use both Coinbase and Gemini. I go back and forth, and the reason why I switch back and forth is actually based on several factors. The thing with me in terms of how I'm set up with right now is with Gemini. I actually kind of like Gemini more because Gemini has the lowest transaction fee for me. It's like 0.25% when I buy. The things I don't like about Gemini is with Gemini, I am limited to $500 a day. And with Gemini, I also have a 5-day wait before my money becomes available. So like if I buy Bitcoin or if I buy Litecoin, that happens on that side. Now, with Coinbase, my transaction fee is higher. Right now, I pay 1.4% or whatever, for my checking account, direct checking account side. So like Gemini, I pay like 0.25%. Coinbase, I pay 1.4%. So what does that mean? If I'm buying $1,000 worth of anything on Gemini, it's going to be like, what does that come out to? $2 or something. Is that right? Yeah, like I'll pay $2 in fees. On Coinbase, I'll pay $15 in fees. So that's an annoyance. But the difference with Coinbase, at least for me, is I get instant transfers, even on a checking account. So I can literally buy it right away, transfer it over, and then switch over to alts. And at this point, most of what I'm doing is I'm buying alts, so I'm just converting from Bitcoin quickly to get into alts. That's just kind of how my position is. So that's good. And the second thing with Coinbase is my limits are significantly higher. So with Gemini, I can only do $500 a day. With Coinbase, I can do $50,000 a day. So this is just for me. I go with that and it works for me, but I'm not saying that's the case for everyone else. So like that's just how I am. I don't know what your opinions are, Derek. I'll start with you and then we'll run over to Curtis. Do you use like Kraken or some of those other ones, or are you mostly Coinbase or?
Mostly Coinbase for the most part. I've used other sites and different things, but right now I'm actually trying to get the Gemini set up as well, so that way I can kind of diversify some of that. But currently, primarily, it is Coinbase that I'm using.
Yeah, and Coinbase was easy to set up. I mean, Coinbase was a lot easier to set up. May I ask, what bank do you have for Coinbase?
For Coinbase,
yeah.
I'm using credit union.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I know that's a little more complex because in my case with Coinbase, I just had Chase, and Chase talks to Coinbase literally like in like 3 minutes it got set up. Well, I know if you have like, I actually tried this because I also have an account with Harris, and Harris took me like a week because it had to like do an ACH and I had to like verify. Like there was like a lot of back and forth, on that front. And I don't know how it was with your credit union, but.
Yeah, the credit union is probably about 7-day deal, I guess, to get the transaction process. I mean, of course, you purchase it, but you have to, wait for your Bitcoin or whatever to come in. I do have some, I guess, well, we all know with the credit card deal now. So I had several of those kind of set up, mostly like my business account. And but now since they've now turning those into cash advances, I've kind of backed off those. Yeah, so I don't even, because what I would do, I would just swap it out just so I can get the instant, and then I'll just pay it in cash immediately. But now since the cash advance is really not worth it now because you're just losing out with the interest you're paying on it. So I just kind of let that go.
Yeah, that's awful. I mean, the other thing you may want to look, and this is up to you. I know, everyone's personal banking things are what they are, but with Chase, I do it. I get instant at like at the 1.4 ACH rate. Literally, I can go click a button, move 20 grand into Bitcoin and then switch it to GDAX and send it over to like Binance and buy alts if I really wanted to.
Okay, I'm definitely going to look into that.
Yeah. So, and I know everyone's got their opinions on banks and, that's not my place or anything, but, it is what it is. What about you, Curtis? Have you gotten now, in fairness too, my Gemini took me like a month to get approved.
Okay.
So
All right, well,
it's
that's good
just
to
like
know.
they are what they are, you know. So how about you, Curtis? I know you've been working on that Gemini approval for like I don't know how long.
Man, so I got Coinbase first when I first started the DU, and I guess a couple weeks I tried Gemini. So right now it's like a love-hate relationship. I'm sending Gemini flowers right now because she's not really responding to me. I say about 3 weeks ago, I checked because I'll check like maybe every week or two, and I checked in the email. It had sent me a notification about my driver license picture had a glare on it, resend. So I took about 4 or 5 shots on it, and I resent it on my laptop, and so I'm still pending. So every time I check, it's pending. So I don't know, but I mean now, as far as which one's better, Coinbase or Gemini? Well, I say if you're a big spender like Charles, you probably would Coinbase be good, but small investors, I would assume Gemini better because if you're spending less than $500 or whatnot, you want that lesser fees, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really for me, I actually also prefer Gemini. Well, so there's two things that affect me. One is, well, Gemini makes some well, that's an interesting one. So with Coinbase, the problem with Coinbase is an ACH transfer into Coinbase takes like 5 to 7 days to process. And the way I am, I know some people like will do a direct wire into Coinbase or GDAX or whatever and then do that money. But for me, every time I've done the wire, like I fuck it up somehow. And when you fuck up a wire with Coinbase, like it takes them 10 business days to get back to you. So like, I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but like back on December 2nd, I wired like 10 grand into GDAX and it got rejected. And there was like 2 weeks where they were just sitting on my money. And, remember those first 2 weeks of December, like the stuff was really like Bitcoin. Like I wired in it at like $8,000 and by the time the wire cleared, Bitcoin was like 15,000, and it wasn't just Bitcoin. It was like that money was planned. When I'd wired that money on like the end of November, I was going to put that money into like Ripple, and it was primarily like Ripple, Stellar Lumens, and XEM. Those were like the 3 positions I was going to take. So like there was 10 grand or let's say 3 grand of Ripple that I could have gotten in at like 23 cents. That because of those 15 days that went by, by the time it was free, Ripple was like 80 cents, right? And then we all kind of know where Ripple went on that front. So in my case, there's two things. First, on a cash perspective, I still like to control my cash as much as possible because once the cash is in Coinbase, to get it out might take 5 or 10 days. And it's not like I need the cash or anything, but I just like to have control of the cash. You see what I mean? And even though I don't like paying that higher 1.5% Coinbase fee, the kind of quickness of it is actually helpful. And Coinbase actually at this point is giving me instant transfers. Like if I really wanted to pass the dice or whatever, I could if I buy on a Saturday on Coinbase, they'll give me let's say $50,000, but the bank, it won't hit my bank until Monday or Tuesday. So I can kind of transfer stuff around internally with linked accounts to cover on that side. But then I could buy on a Saturday and then send that money directly to Binance or Bittrex. And within 3 hours, get into alt positions and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Yeah. That being said, I kind of like the Gemini side also though, because I can get the money in there and it's, even though it's pending, I can put $500 into Gemini and then set a stop limit and catch money there. Do you see what I mean? Because when you get the money, the way I'll show you guys in case you guys haven't seen this before. Let me share my screen. So this obviates the Curtis staying up at 4 a.m. Solution. But literally, oh, hold on, I gotta get my passcode. 48330. So.
Yeah, I didn't know Gemini was that.
Yeah, so check this out. What happens with Gemini is you deposit it, So I can do like a USD bank transfer into it. And let's say I'm going to deposit $500. So I'll just put $500 in right now. Review my deposit. I confirm. So now the money's in here, even though it still hasn't come out of my checking account. But what's cool about this is I can buy. So let me go buy some Bitcoin. But they only do Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's the one downside. But I can buy it on a limit order right away. So it's like, you know, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy right now. Who knows? Yeah, it's a little high right now. Given things, I mean, it'll still go up. But like, if it was like a week ago, right, we weren't sure where, you know, Bitcoin's bouncing up and down and stuff like that. I could literally, okay, let's do a limit order of, you know, $7,000. So that's going to give me whatever the quantity of Bitcoin is. Hold on, why doesn't this update? Okay, $7,000. I guess their calculations aren't as good. It doesn't automatically do it. But let's do this. So at $7,000, I've got $500. So $500 divided by $7,000 is 0.071. Great, and that gets me what I want, but the fees here are much lower, right? And then I just put my limit order in, and it sits there. So now, you know, my quote unquote, I'm still on that, you know, 5 to 7 day hold, because if I look at like, if I go here, you know, withdraw, you can see like withdrawals, basically like you've got these, they do these things called these pre-credited bank transfers that go in. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it works. So you can kind of get the money in there. Like, so like, let's say it's like with Gemini is better than Coinbase, because with Coinbase, you just have that instant click. You just got to click it and then you buy for whatever the heck it is. With Gemini, if I think I want to buy Bitcoin over the next 5 days, and I see the price, but I know like, and again, this is a crystal ball, so no one's ever perfect on this. But if I think like, okay, I want to buy Bitcoin over the next 5 days, and based on whatever history of it, you know, this is when I put the money in, but I think it's going to dip down to here, so I want to do a stop limit. I can put the money in, and I can put a stop limit at what I am, and then if it hits it, I buy it at that price, and if it doesn't, then, you know, that's that.
So there's no 4 a.m. staying up in the morning?
No, you don't have to stay up in the morning. You literally, like, if we had Gemini, the thing is I couldn't put enough money in, you know, because it's only $500. But if we had Gemini, we could have just, you know, put the, you know, when we did the stuff, I could have put like $5,000 in and set it for like, okay, we agree that it's $6,000, set the limit order, call it a day. And then we wake up in the morning and we would have got it at, you know, $5,900 or whatever, instead of missing it and then seeing it go up and then buying it, then watching it go down. It's like, oh my God, we bought too high, and then having it come back up, you know, on that side. And for anyone who's listening, what we're joking about is, you know, both Derek and Curtis are in our DU Ambassador program. So we executed our first transaction where, we, you know, all of them get $1,000 a month in Bitcoin to invest in various things. So we all had to enter the market. So we were sitting there for like 3 days. I think Bitcoin, it had hit like 8,000, and then we're like, do we buy now? We don't know. And then it dropped to like 7,400. And then we're like, hold on, Curtis is going to stay up all night to catch it. And, you know, so if you call Charles, and I was there, but I kind of fell asleep on the couch. Curtis is like texting, "Oh my gosh, you don't get it now." And I didn't wake up, and then when time I woke up, it was back up to like I think 7,500, and we're like, "Do we think we should do it or should we not?" So then we waited, and then it didn't. Then I was up all night, and then it didn't drop that low, and then it went up to like 84, and we're like, "Crap, we're gonna go buy it." So we then buy it at 8,400. It went up to 8,600, and then it dropped back down, I think, to like 7,800. So then we're like, oh my gosh, this is driving us crazy. But now, it's back up to, it's over 10 grand now. So I guess everything's fine. But
It was funny.
it's kind of the fun that occurs. So, let's just finish up a few more Q&A, and then we can kind of get wrapped up. But hopefully people are kind of, we might sound like we know what we're doing in publicly, but there's a lot of drama that goes on in the background. So are your coins the individual accounts? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Stephanie. I'm going to assume, maybe the question is there a separate wallet address for each coin? And the answer is kind of. What you have is if it's its own coin with its own mining network, like Litecoin or Dash or, Bitcoin, they have unique addresses. But then what happens now is you've got all these platform-based coins. So like an Ethereum-based coin will still use the Ethereum address because it runs on the Ethereum blockchain, but then it will be segmented into its own little bucket on that front. So hope that answers your question. Okay, I just purchased Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Litecoin through Coinbase 2 days ago. My transaction still shows pending. Is Trezor something, or Trevor, you mean Trezor, something I use together with Coinbase? So the answer to that, Kurt, is no, it is and it isn't. What I mean by that is when you have, you've got, each one of these things are wallets. Like think of it like a mailbox. And wherever your organization is, that's where your mailbox is. So if you have the Trezor, that's basically your personal mailbox. That's your own mailbox. If you have your stuff on Coinbase, yes, it's in your name because it's on Coinbase, but technically it's like their mailbox. So your stuff is in Coinbase's mailbox. I guess it's kind of like the bank, right? If you got money in the bank versus money in your safe versus, money at your grandma's house or money at your buddy's house, that's kind of how the analogy is. Now, the thing about owning it yourself, and this is, I think, a few things. A lot of the coins have additional benefits that come with them. One of the benefits of, like, for example, Neo. Neo is another platform coin, and there is a staking element of owning Neo, where if you have Neo, you get some gas that comes with it. Another coin, actually, which is a great coin to have, even though I think I bought it a little high, but it's just life. A KuCoin. I don't know. Did you guys buy any KuCoin by chance or anything on that end?
I got some.
Yeah. So with KuCoin actually includes a dividend payout on the KuCoin side. So like now with KuCoin, I get all this random stuff that shows up. So like I own some I own all these crap coins. I have no idea what they are, but like I own like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, which is whatever. But like those are benefits that come with, like, different coins might have their benefits, and not all you are 100% guaranteed to get all the benefits if you have control of your coin. If you have your coin somewhere else, then you have to see if they are going to officially support that. So what does that mean? Well, if I have Neo and I keep my Neo on Bittrex, well, Bittrex doesn't give me the gas. Bittrex keeps the gas for themselves. Now, if I have my Neo on Binance, Binance does give me the gas, but they give me the gas on a monthly basis because that's just how they work their system. So if I only keep my Neo, and I don't know how their calculation goes into play, but I've got to keep it on a month in Binance before I get my gas. If I have my gas in the Neon wallet, right now that's like the only controlled wallet you can have it that I'm aware of, that you can have Neo. I get daily gas, through the Neon wallet. So, those are little things on that side. So what does that mean with Coinbase? Well, the big the big drama happened with Coinbase and they changed their mind. But up until like when the whole Bitcoin Bitcoin Cash was the result of a fork from Bitcoin. So back in the summer, everyone who had Bitcoin got a 1-for-1 Bitcoin Cash. So if you had 10 Bitcoins in Coinbase, you got 10 Bitcoin Cashes. Up before November, Coinbase officially stated that they were not supporting the Bitcoin, or I don't know if it was official, but Coinbase did not support the Bitcoin Cash fork. So what that meant was if you had, I actually had this conversation with Dr. Boyce because he had a bunch of Bitcoins in Coinbase. He came to me and said, hey, where's my Bitcoin Cash? This was back in like October. It's like, yeah, I heard about this Bitcoin Cash thing. Where is it? And my answer was like, hey, where's your Bitcoin? He's like, Coinbase. I was like, well, Coinbase has it. He's like, how do I get it? I don't know. Who knows? Now, because of what happened, Coinbase laterally reversed their decision and decided to give out Bitcoin Cash. But the other reality is there have been other forks along the way. Did you guys like get any of that like Bitcoin Gold stuff or Bitcoin Diamond, or did you hear about anything like that?
Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like in November, and again, this is a small thing, but like in November, I think there was a fork with Bitcoin and there was this Bitcoin Diamond or something that came out. And it's not really worth that much or anything like that, but it started trading on the exchanges. And, I traded some Bitcoin Diamond for some Binance coin just because I was like, what the heck is this Bitcoin Diamond stuff? I don't know what it is, but I had it. And, I got some Binance coin, which is actually worth something. It helps me with my trades. So it's like you miss out on those little things if you don't have control of your coins on that front, which is, it can become sizable, you know what I mean, depending on how much stuff you have and things with forks. So hopefully that answers your question. Stephanie, in order to get love coins, you need to get a hard soft exchange set up to receive them. Yes. So you don't technically have to buy a ledger or a Trezor. I mean, that's a personal thing, but you will have to, part of the love token includes, and this is like the first of our training, we're literally figuring out as we go. We're going to get people set up with Myetherwallet, which is a free wallet out there. And yeah, you'll need Myetherwallet set up so you can receive your love tokens on that front. Priska asked, are we going to have a Ledger Nano demo? Yeah. Hey, did you give me a link to the Ledger yet, Curtis? Or did you send me a Trezor link?
I think I gave you a link to the yeah, I did give you a link to the Ledger. Okay,
yeah. So we were going to send Curtis the Trezor so he could kind of, because he's never used one of the, or not the Trezor, a Ledger. And we had some communication issues and some other difficulties on that side. So it's in the pipeline, hopefully by next week. Okay, so credit unions are charging a fee if you use their credit cards. I'm not sure. Does your credit union, no, you don't use the credit union credit card, right? Derek?
No, this is the regular debit card from the credit union.
Okay, so you're doing it, are you doing it through a bank transfer or using the debit card?
Actually, I use both, but it's really, most of the time I just use the regular ACH deal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a fee difference for going a debit card version versus the ACH?
I don't think there is. I have to double check. I don't know if with the debit cards, if you just get the coins quicker versus, but I don't think the price is changes any significantly at all.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to go back and kind of look back at it.
Yeah. Okay. I have no idea.
But definitely, there's nothing on their end that they're charging me for.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then, Stephanie says you have Wells Fargo set up, but then you used a credit card and it was a quick setup. Yeah. I mean, to each their own in terms of how you do it. Generally speaking, the cheapest fees are through the bank, if you do like a bank transfer, whether it's ACH or wire. And the difference between ACH versus wire boils down to how much money you're putting in. So like with Coinbase, it's like 1.5%. With Coinbase with a wire, it's free, or with a wire into GDAX, it's free, but there's a wire fee of $30, right? So if 1.5% is greater than $30, maybe you'll wire the money in. if it's less, you'll probably use the Coinbase side of things on that front. Okay, what is the, oh, actually we never got to you, Curtis. On your opinion, you're Coinbase then? Do you like Coinbase? Do you not like it?
Well, it's the only option I have, so
Oh, okay.
it's okay.
I think isn't like there also like Kraken or a few other options. I haven't really looked into those. I know there are other ones.
I heard about Kraken. I haven't looked into it though.
Oh, okay. Cool. And then final question, then we'll get wrapped up. What is the difference between limit and market? So that's like a purchasing question. So what a limit order does is it lets you set a threshold when you buy. So let me just go back to sharing my screen on this front. So if you look at it, this is the Litecoin pricing chart, and this is how it's been over the last hour. So if I were just to buy at the market rate, it would just be at this, currently the market rate's about 230 bucks. I'd be buying my Litecoin for 230 bucks. Now, I might want to make a guesstimate that Litecoin might drop a little or it might go up, right? Because between it was 230 here and yesterday morning it was 230, but then like during the day it dropped, it looks like as low as 200 bucks before bouncing up and everything on that front. So if I want to, take a greater risk or try to optimize things, or maybe, I don't know if, some people like to read charts or like understand all that sort of stuff. I might say, okay, I want my money in here, but I guess that maybe Litecoin's going to make a dip. So I set an order saying I will buy Litecoin up to 220 bucks or 210 bucks or whatever and call it a day. And then what happens is that kind of sets the amount of, purchasing on that end, so that if it falls there, I execute on that without having to physically be there to press the button. Now, from a personal basis, does it really matter from a long-term perspective? Honestly, I don't really care. I just usually buy at the market because I don't want to spend the time. But, some people like to optimize. But this actually then helps, we call this concept of technical analysis or chart reading, because what you actually have, if you look at this, is you have tons of limit orders that have been set on both ends at various rates throughout the day. So it's like, if you look at this tells me, and this is just in the GDAX world, but you can see charts from like every exchange and stuff like that. There's a big wall here that says, okay, there is 3,000 Litecoins that are being marketed for at this $231 level. And then if I go up here, there's another big wall at 232 of people that wanted to sell here. Then you go here, there's a big wall at 233. There's all these thresholds where people have basically put orders in on that side, on the sell side. And on the buy side, you see this too. You've got a bunch of people there. They've set a threshold at 229 bucks. And then there's another threshold at like 226, so forth and so forth. And what happens is people, look at this on a bigger scale. So like when we say, technical analysis, if Bitcoin breaks this number, it's going to look better, or we think it's going to hit here based on technicals. That's basically an analysis of all these orders, reading it all, and then packaging it away based on that. On that. I don't know, did that explanation make any sense, Derek or Curtis? Yeah. So basically, that's the concept of technical analysis is I look at all these orders, I look at all these walls, I look at this, I look at all these other historical trend lines and stuff like that, and I try to, read a fortune. Cool. Well, we've answered a bunch of questions. We've given a great demo. Derek is now the proud owner of a working Trezor and a Myetherwallet. I'm sure you're going to play around with it more and have more fun. You also received some Litecoin and some Ethereum, so kind of fun on that end. And thanks everyone for joining in. And we'll definitely be on, I think, next week. Hopefully Curtis will have his ledger by then. And by next week, we should have some love tokens to actually start sending around. So if you have a chance, before the training comes on, if you want to go set up a Myether, if you want to go set up your Myether wallet and everything on that side, we'll we'll start sending some love, live. Should be fun. Alrighty. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a good weekend. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.